Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new programme on the Psychosin Project channel here. This is Psychosin's podcast. Tried to get a few people together, but sadly we're doing this at a time when everyone's either busy or working because it is a Monday. Almost forgot what day it was. And should I call this the Psychosin Podcast, or tonight should probably be the Psychoskrink Podcast? Because joining me via from up there north is the one only Skrinkles.
Hi, I'm not northern before you start.
She's north of Southend, therefore she's northern. Anyway, some of you may remember Skrinkles, or that voice as it were, from her old show. It was Skrinkles Metal Asylum, I believe you called it.
That's it, yeah.
Back on a station we no longer mention.
Nope.
And so, everyone who's listening to this, you know who I am. I'm that balding git who gets on the camera and does video reviews for you. But, Skrinks, do you want to tell people a bit about yourself while I bang my hand on the desk by mistake?
Oh, what do I say? Yeah, I used to DJ on the radio station we will not mention.
The Mighty Rabbits. There we go.
There we go. Yes. Oh wow, how long ago now was that? That was.
Oh, well, I've been off it since. It's got to be about a year now. I think it closed down, isn't it?
I think it's about 2 years ago when I stopped doing regular shows.
Yeah.
And then got too annoyed to actually stick around. But yeah.
There were reasons for that we won't go into because obviously we don't want to end up with some kind of libel case.
But moving on from that, now I don't really do much radio-wise.
So to quote Red Dwarf, she's like Lister, she's a bum.
Yes, I am. I'm a very busy bum, that's what I am.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Oh God, we're only about 3 minutes here, it's already turned wrong. Anyway.
Well, we've got to expect that. It's when we get talking, it always happens.
Yes, well, we're also hoping, I'm hoping, I don't know why I said we because I'm the one running this, that Skrinks will be a regular addition to the podcast, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It will involve a lot of us bouncing around topics about everything. It won't be just music. So let's get into this. Skrink, what have you been listening to lately?
Well, you know what?
Well, no, I don't, because you haven't told me.
No. I haven't really. I've got to admit, I know it's terrible. I have not been listening to anything particularly new lately. I've been getting into those bands that people like rave about years ago, and one of the last decent album I actually heard was Isam's last album, which was a really good album.
Arctica or something,
That's
wasn't
it.
Yeah, Arctica. I couldn't remember it for a minute then. I should have last year even. So you're saying about you've been listening to old stuff. I've spent the last day, because I'm trying to catch up on reviews and all that from last year as well, reviewing a box set of 3 albums from a 70s band that my dad listened to called Budgie. And what's worse is off...
God.
Bloody hell, Budgie, or Bludgie as I almost called them.
What's Bludgie? I don't know Bludgie, but I know Budgie, yes.
Yes, I've never heard them before. Obviously I know about their connections to their band with James Hetgarden. But I know they covered Bread Fan, which is on one of the albums I've got here. And I've been listening to a lot of really old rock and I hate it. It's weird. I've kind of weirded myself out. And then, also today, just before I contacted you actually on Skype, I've listened to the new Blink-182, which if you'd asked me about, well, even 2 years ago, whether I'd be listening to a Blink-182 album, I would have told you to go away in a more aggressive manner.
You know, what's really funny about you saying that, I've not listened to them in years yet. The other day, I've got to that sort of stage where I'm too busy to really kind of go out and find new music. I thought, what I'll do, I'll throw some music on my phone, put some old classics on, and I thought, Blink-182, I've not heard them in years. And listening to it brought back all these memories of being a teenager.
It does for a lot of people, but I'm a bit older Oh no, so I thankfully, I was more the new metal boom than anything for my growing up years. Back when Limp Bizkit were a band worth listening to. Yes, kids, it did happen. But no, I figured out what it was about Blink 182 that used to really annoy me. Apart from them being on every radio and TV music station ever, it was the singer who left. His nasally voice got right on my wick.
Yeah.
And the reason I bought the new album of Giving It a Listen is because I've now got Matt Skiba of the band Alkaline Trio as the other singer.
Oh, really? I don't know that.
Yeah, this is their first album with him, and it's actually really good. There's one or two silly songs on there, because it's Blink 182, I think they have to by law now. But as a punk album, bearing in mind I'm not exactly a major punk fan, as it were, I actually liked it, and I would never thought I would like a bloody Blink 182 album. So, there we go. So what other classics did you stick on there then?
Well, again, I was on about this to you earlier.
See, bearing in mind when it comes to classics with Skrink, she has been hardcore black metal for a good 10-15 years.
Yeah, that is very true. One band everyone always raved about, and I never got into them, is because, I'll tell you who the band is in a moment. I find death metal, I think it gets really boring.
And depends on as a death metal fan, it depends on the band. There are a lot of bands who sound exactly the same, and even I'm like, oh, you sound exactly like, I don't know, Origin or something. You're blast beats and just no groove, and you're just like, oh, what are you going about now? Death, Satan, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but
I just found it so boring. But yeah, lately I've actually got into Nile.
Good
I know that's like one of those things. Everyone's like, only now. How old am I? I'm 28 and I've only just got into it.
Did you just ask yourself how old you were?
You know, someone asked me the other day, how old am I? And I generally have to stand there and think, how old am I?
You're only as old as the person you're feeling.
Yes.
Is he older?
Younger.
See, it's robbing from the cradle, people. I can't say anything. My other half's younger as well, so there we go. Apparently 34 means I'm very, very old. And I'm like, oh, thanks. She's like 27. I'm just like, yeah, cheers. So, but yes, Niall, funny enough, you say that. It's been a good 2 years since their last album. I don't know what's happening when they've got a new album coming out. But, as you're getting into them now, is it just the one album you've got into, or...?
A general mix, really.
See, the strange thing is, they do actually have... an official best of that come out.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what it was called now. Let me get me a detachable hard drive again, not a euphemism. Or is it? You'll never know because I'm not on camera. The fact is, I am sat here dressed in a onesie that, not a onesie, sorry, whatever it is that Borat wore. No.
Ballerina's outfit.
No, that's Tuesday nights, not Mondays. No, it's what Borat wears.
A suit?
No, the yellow thing.
Oh, Mankini, that's it.
There we go. Oh, that joke would have worked a lot better if I could have remembered it. Right, the Nile best of. Admittedly, this is giving more advertising to a record label who don't speak to me, but there we go. Is... I've got to remember which one it is now. Nope, that's not it. That's the newest album. Legacy of the Catacombs. There we go.
Yeah.
That is worth getting. It's also got what I think is their best song, which is on an album you've heard, which is probably the only time I've heard a 13-14 minute death metal song that didn't get really boring, and that was Una, Slayer of the Gods.
Yeah.
And see, with me, I've found that it's really hard for me to sort of listen to either Unis or any Nile without feeling the need to gurn or sing it along. Maybe it's just me, possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. But they are unique.
Honestly, when it comes to death metal, Yeah, I will admit it, and I have admitted this before when I've done radio shows. I do find death metal really boring. If there's any, it's just got to, grab you, It's got to, I love black and death metal.
It's the same. It's the same thing though. There's a lot of bands that start sounding the same, especially with black metal as well.
Yeah. Black metal can be boring though. I find, you know what? I have become a bit of a snob when it comes to black metal because that one band that everyone loves, the black metal, and they've got Watain. Is it Watain? Is that what
Do you know? I've never actually listened to them properly. Watain. It's like 1349. I've never listened to them. I think I had like 5 minutes of one of their songs, which might have been a whole song, I don't know. I just went, you sound like every other band out at the moment.
Yes.
And that was my issue. But we had the same sort of thing back in, trying to think now, when did Midian come out? About 2001 when Cradle of Filth released Midian. Suddenly, Dimmu Borgir come out with not Spiritual Black Dimensions, the one with a really difficult title that had the naked woman in the spider web on the front.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can see the album. I'm
Puritanical Misanthropia. That's it. Yeah, those two albums come out because they done well. Every black metal band started suddenly becoming symphonic black metal, and it's like no, two will do. And I was never that big a Dimmu Borgir fan, so one would do.
Yeah, again, Dimmu Borgir, one of those bands you kind of. I've never known anybody who's like totally, utterly into them, listens to them every day. I always find them one of those bands that are like, you got the hits and you like to hear them once in a while, but again, you just get a bit.
Well, nice way to slide into a bit of a topic here. Have you seen? I know you've not really kept up with the music, but it might come up on your Facebook feed. Have you seen the new promo pictures for Dimmu Borgir?
No, I haven't actually.
No corpse paint.
Really?
No corpse paint, completely plain. They look like Emperor circa Prometheus.
I was going to say, it kind of rings a bit of Emperor there, yeah.
Yeah, but let's face it, if you got a copy, you might as well copy one of the best.
Yeah,
so,
can't beat a bit of Emperor.
You really can't. I mean, I was lucky enough, was it last year? Yeah, last year, to interview Samoff. And if that had been in person, that would have been amazing. But it was about his new band, Wretched End, which is another death metal band, which basically sound like Zyklon. But anyway, don't know why he ended Zyklon, to be honest with you. But yeah, he was a nice guy, but the Skype connection kept screwing up on me. It's a bit of a problem. But yes, I'm still to this day that Chris Barnes of 6 Feet Under, formerly Cannibal Corpse, and of course for me personally, the Dino Gazarez interview. I'm still to this day have no idea how I've managed this. Like, complete luck.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, dear. So, are you actually still listening to black metal at all at the moment?
I kind of, when I do get a chance to actually listen to anything, it's when I'm, like, walking to and from work. That's the only time I kind of have time to listen to stuff, so... But when it comes to... You know what? I do have to admit, over the last kind of year or two, there's not been a lot to kind of draw me in, black metal-wise. So I'm listening to, like, the classics. But am I listening to anything brand new?
I'll be honest, I couldn't name you any brand new black metal bands.
That's what I mean, I'm trying to think now.
And the thing is, I get sent them by record labels, and I still couldn't name you any. So, I mean...
If anything, the only stuff that you can relate to black metal, I love, like I said earlier, black and death metal.
Yeah.
And...
That's your Akakoka, isn't it, coming up?
Yeah.
Or Hokey Cokey, or however you pronounce it. I've never worked out.
I love that, I love it, and that's the only thing, really, that I listen to, that, I don't get bored by, and honest to God, right now, I am flicking through my playlist on my phone thinking, newest black metal tune I actually have on my phone was that one from Abath's album.
Oh, Abath. Did you actually listen to the whole album?
Yeah, it was...
Average.
Average is a good word, yeah. I like that one tune and I forgot what it's called
now. It weren't terrible, but a lot of it was like... You have a feeling he was only in the middle of writing the new Immortal album when they decided to split. So they're
Yeah,
kind of
pretty much.
half-formed ideas, just so that he can be the new black metal Badger by himself. So
Well, saying that, it's again not strictly, well, call it black metal. It is kind of, like atmospheric black metal.
what, like
Like a
Axis
lot
of Perdition?
Yeah, things like, I just kind
I've said that band. I've just realised I haven't listened to them for years. I remember there was one album, so it was Scenes from a Hospital or something, I think it was called. That's basically, it sounded like the black metal equivalent of a soundtrack to a Silent Hill game, and I loved it. It was absolutely awesome.
See, I just put that on. I never know what I'm quite listening to. Well, I just put like a random playlist on and listen to it, and I don't know. I love it. It's just nice kind of background when I'm doing a bit of work. It's good music. But again, I couldn't really tell you a particular band that I actually, when it comes to black metal, that I'm really into right now. Really,
See, for me, it will always be. Well, I've had them tattooed on me, so obviously Emperor's going to be one of them.
Emperor are like a staple, though, aren't they?
They should be required listening for everyone over the age of 5.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to know what black metal is? This is it. Enjoy.
I mean, how can you not like them? I mean,
I will admit, there is one. Sorry, I don't mean to keep speaking over you, but there is one Emperor album I could never get into, and that was Ninth Equilibrium.
See, I know where you're coming from. It's with me. It's the first couple of albums. You can't.
See, I thought you would have preferred them because they're like necro feel to them.
No, I've traditionalist maybe. When it comes to black metal.
See, I'm that weirdo who still thinks that Anthems is their best album, whereas everyone else always goes in the Nightside Eclipse. So
Nightside Eclipse. It's
I'm not taking anything away from in the Nightside Eclipse, but for me, Anthems just pips it to the post. So
it's really close, but it tipped me for it when I went to see him at Bloodstock and they played the album the entire.
Yes, which means now you've seen them live, you don't have to hate me so much.
The best thing about it as well was at the end of that set at Bloodstock, and right at the front, of course, they played the one tune you will just never ever hear again. Battery.
Fine Day to Die. Fine Day to Die.
Yeah, that's it. That just in my head then, because obviously you're never going to hear Battery ever play it because.
I don't think they ever gigged, did they?
They never did, but obviously it's a bit hard to when you are dead. And Emperor no longer Emperor.
I don't even know because they keep suggesting they got to do more gigs. Even Samoff has said during that interview, like when I was on Skype with him, he said there might be more Emperor gigs happening, and they've not.
Don't get me wrong, that'd be amazing if they had like they had. It was a 20th anniversary album when they played that. That's when they kind of got back together again. So when was Anthems released?
It was the next album, so they've missed the 20th anniversary of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or it'd be this year. Actually, it might be this year would be the 20th anniversary.
Possibly. So who knows? He could announce.
Because Emperor, if I remember rightly, that was the one gig that I went to. Obviously, I went to it. Like it was their very last ever gig at the time, and I bought the ticket. And on the day that I was meant to go with, that I was going to it, I was full of flu. I was feeling so absolute pants, but I also I manned up. I went, sod it, I'm not missing this, and I totally enjoyed the gig while full of flu and having a radius of space about 10 miles around me in the mosh pit. So.
Oh yeah, when there's a band like that, nothing will stop you from going to see them. Though.
Well, exactly. That's why I had to make it to the very last Cathedral gig a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
That was good. That was very good. That sold out. Like venue sold out. And you just look at how big they sold out the venue. And you look around thinking, most of you people probably don't even listen to the band anymore. You just come because it's the last gig.
They were a really fun band to actually watch.
Yeah.
Live.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I saw them. How many? I'd say 3 times, and every time I went in there and really enjoyed the gig.
They're one of those bands that I've never seen a reaction like they would get at the end of the set when they would announce Hopkins.
Yeah.
That just set them up. I mean, when I was on their last gig, he announced it by going, you're going to miss us more than we're going to miss you, or something like that. This is Hopkins. And then when he finished the song, he just flopped on the floor and 2 druids come out and dragged him off stage. And that was the end of the gig. It's like, fair play.
Brilliant.
So, yes. But yeah, it's doable gear. It's weird what's going on there as well. With the lack of corpse paint, it suggests they go for a more sort of back to basics approach on their albums, which they've tried before on Insulte Diaboli, which I didn't like as much as I've liked other albums. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah. What has shocked me, however, let's drift into another topic here. I did say this would be rambling all over the place. What is an album you've heard over the last year? It doesn't have to have been released last year, but an album you've heard that you did not think you would like, or you previously weren't liked, apart from Nile. I'll say that now instead of you repeating yourself. Because for me, I bought it last year, but I did only listen to it a couple of days ago. The new Devilment album.
Really?
Yeah, I actually really goddamn liked it. The best way I can describe it, and this is going to make it sound awful, think of an extreme metal Lacuna Coil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've not listened to one thing from them, I'll be honest with you.
The first album was pretty poor, to be honest with you, because I don't think they know what they wanted to do. But the new album, yeah, Danny Filth with this female singer, they bounce off each other really goddamn well.
Yeah.
And it's this commercial was all hell really for the kind of vocals that he does. But yeah, it's worth checking out. Well worth checking out. I bought it in 2 for £15 because I couldn't find anything else decent. I went, I'll give Devilment another go. And yeah, it shocked me. And then the album that I did want to buy in the 2 for £15 ended up being average. So it was a bit like, okay. So
I'm just trying to. I don't know. Call it a year or so ago.
Yeah.
When going Bloodstock last year. How many times have I mentioned Bloodstock already?
I imagine. Are you going this year?
I should be, but
you should be. Are you saying you should be because there is Bearded Vikings headlining?
Oh no, I'm already sold because Winter Sun are playing. So
Oh, are they?
No, going back to last year. Band Ghost Bath were announced at Bloodstock.
Never heard of them.
They're an interesting listen to. Now,
well, bear in mind you did introduce me to Jalda Boeth.
Oh my god. But yeah, I thought, any bands that I've not necessarily listened to, give them a try. Listen to one tune on like YouTube, and thought, oh my god, what band is this? What is it? The only way to describe it is someone dying, screaming, literally dying in a bathroom, in a bath.
So early Anal Nafrak?
Honestly, it's something you've never heard before. Anyway, I thought, yeah, I'll give them a miss.
Right.
But, I wasn't actually properly watching them, given the just kind of general listen as I was walking around. You know what? Something about them really catchy. And I've got the album here. It's Ghost Bath with Moon Lover, the album's called. I've got to say...
So you said Moon Lover and all I can think of is that scene from Dark Space with... what's his name? Matt Berry, when he's singing something in that.
Yeah. But no, anybody who's actually listened to Ghost Bath, they'll know exactly what I mean. Like, you listen to it, and it's like, this is mental. And for days after, well, not days, but like the few days after people walking around the campsite at Bloodstock. We're all taking the piss. Oh, I said a naughty word.
It's all right. I'm sure we can get away with that.
Taking the mick out of his vocals. If you've not ever listened to them, YouTube it. One of the better tunes on the album. It's all right album, but The Golden Number. Listen to that tune, and you will think, "What am I listening to?" But it's strangely catchy. But go for it.
See, I have a funny feeling that it's going to be, like, lyrically, it's going to be about being pissed on or something.
You know when there's bands...
Not the band Pissed On, obviously, but... God, what happened to them? I used to love them. Anyway, could be a minority of one here. No one's probably heard of them now. But... oh, God, yeah. Sorry, I've just got on Metal Sucks. Here's video of Metallica and Lady Gaga performing together at the Grammys.
Yeah.
There's your next Gaga album. Metallica with Gaga.
See now.
So that'll be half good.
I can imagine that happening. I can see that happening.
Thing is, with Lady Gaga, she is one of the few artists I could see being able to put her voice to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hide it. I'm a massive Lady Gaga fan. You know, I listen to everything. You know, I love Lady Gaga. In fact, I've got tickets to see her in October.
I was waiting for this to come up. I was going to bring it up a bit later. So,
you know what? I don't care. I love her. But yeah, I found it quite... I've not actually watched the performance yet, but I saw something very interesting earlier on that Lady Gaga has actually got a back tattoo now of one of Metallica. You know, the moth thing. I'm not a Metallica fan.
You're probably asking the wrong person here, but the thing is, I know what you mean. I think it was because I've got a huge Metallica fan on my Facebook. Hi, Mike. So he's probably posted at some point. "Moth into Flame" was one of the songs, which might be what that is. Yeah. So whether they'll do an actual album, because they might be a bit gun shy after the whole Lulu situation. That literally no one liked. I don't even think the band or the other singer liked. So
no.
But yeah. However, I've seen some bad news here on Metal Sucks. Dillinger Escape Plan cancelled the remainder of their European tour in the wake of a serious bus crash.
That's awful, isn't it? I did see that earlier.
Yeah. Now I'm a huge Dillinger Escape Plan fan. I'm gutted that this is their final tour, and I'm even more gutted I can't afford to go to it, but because I never got to see them live. But that sucks so much.
Yeah.
I mean, really, maybe it's just a sign that they're making the right decision to end now. Who knows? So, God, trust me to go on the Bleeding Metal site where everything's Metallica related.
Speaking of Metallica, do you hear about Megadeth? Was it the Grammys as well? They won Best Performance or something. And
yeah, soundtrack of Metallica's Master of Puppets. What absolute git lined that up?
Brilliant.
Although from the pictures I've seen, I can't remember the bassist's name, but he seems to be laughing his arse off. So
there's some quite interesting stuff in the news at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that. What's that? Also, sorry, I'm being really naughty with words.
You are terrible, Jesus. So what happens when you tell people not to, Nickelback's Feed the Machine Goes Metal?
Anyway, what I was saying, a very, very naughty man, that lead singer, Tim, what's his name from As I Lie Dying?
Oh, what, the one who tried to hire Hitman?
Yeah.
Tim Lambesis.
Getting married, he's been released for 2 months and getting married to his, wife-to-be. Why would you want to be his wife? You know?
Because maybe she's already hired the Hitman before him?
Maybe. Well, that's pretty mental though, isn't it? I mean, what a naughty boy.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Slipknot already writing new material. Well, I hope they make it good, because I'd like a new good Slipknot album. The last two haven't been it. You've never been a Slipknot fan, have you?
The very first album, I thought that was, it was pretty good.
The first album, where it was Unbridled Rage committed to tape, is still their best. It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, see, I did like that. And
Then Iowa come out and everyone loved it because I went for a more extreme metal feel, whereas I only liked a few songs off it. And a lot of people say it's their best album. I can't agree with that. I'd still say it's the first album. Well, I'll say the first one. The first one, Corey Taylor, before the Slipknot fans jump on me. Um, and I'm also one of the people who enjoyed Volume 3 as soon as it came out. But that's because of something I'll answer in a moment. Because I'm a fan of another band who do weird stuff. So there we go. But yes, talking about that question, what are some of the bands that people who know you or have spoken to you or whatever may be very surprised to hear that you listen to?
I don't think anyone will be surprised at the things I listen to.
Well, not the Lady Gaga. You post about her enough, to be honest with you.
Well, if anybody knows me, they know that I listen to... I really just... I listen to everything. So there's no massive shocks there. I mean, when I used to do radio shows...
Let's go from the perspective of that, from being a metal scribe stroke DJ. What are bands that, if people found out, you probably get like them going, oh my god, how can you listen to them? They're not metal.
See, you know what I do love? I've got the other half to blame for this.
You got to say C6 Steve, aren't you?
I've always liked them, but I've really got into Fleetwood Mac lately.
Ah, Rumours or Tusk?
Oh, see, rumours for me.
So I was quoting Mighty Boosh there. Yeah.
See, I don't. Mighty Boosh, nah, I couldn't find it for me.
See, I did it at first, and then I got into it, but got into it in a big way, in fact. But Fleetwood Mac is one of those old bands that I keep getting to. All I've got is a best of. So, I only know those two album titles as well. So I remember rightly, Rumours the one with their massive, massive hit on it.
Oh, see, I'll...
Is it Go Your Own Way? Was that Fleetwood Mac? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Say that again?
You Can Go Your Own Way. That's Fleetwood
Yeah,
Mac. Yeah, I think that's Rumours. So, yes. Oh, good, I'm not the only one sort of digging through the oldies.
Gotta love a bit of the oldies. I mean, Stevie Nicks, oh.
Never listened. Not knowingly, anyway.
Amazing.
Same as I'm now building up my Susie and the Banshees collection.
Oh, I love Susie. I love her.
Has to be done. And, you know, let's be honest, back in the day, I would.
Oh, no, she's... Yeah, I love that band. You know, I used to play on my radio show quite a lot, so come and know.
And then when you can't listen to mine, you generally request Spellbound. So...
Yeah, you gotta love that tune.
Well, yeah.
Come on, what bands would people be surprised to... I probably know this already.
I've got loads. Radiohead.
It's like the very first band, I always remember this, the very first band you went to see live.
Go on then, what was it?
What are their friggin' names?
well done on remembering that then. Fun-loving criminals.
That's it, Fun-loving criminals.
Yeah, I will defend those first three albums by that band to the death, because for what they are awesome. I will still listen to them today. Funny enough, the first rock metal band I ever saw was Sugar Ray, for Christ's sake. If you remember them.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Every morning there's a halo hanging on the post. On the post of my four-post bed or something like that. I was listening to it before that single as well. That's how sad I am. A lot of people seem to be surprised when they find out I like a bit of EBM and industrial, actually.
Oh, see, I love my EBM industrial, anything like that.
See, I don't know why they find it surprising when it's like one of my favourite bands is Fear Factory, who do bring some of those elements into their music.
Yeah, industrial kind of metal, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of implied. So it's a bit weird when people come up to me and go, "Oh my God, you like Pop Team Berserk?" Yeah, I love my cheesy Euro disco apparently. So don't even know if they're still going. What did shock me, I bought the new Combi Christ album, and when the hell did Combi Christ turn into an industrial metal band?
They've always been kind of that kind of version.
They've been aggressive, yeah, but
Yeah.
bear in mind that the last album before I bought the new one that I heard was What the F Is Wrong With You.
Yeah.
So I hadn't heard anything for ages, and I picked up the new album because for some reason my local HMV actually had it, and
Really?
that shocked me. I thought I'll snap that up before it disappears again, and yeah, I started listening. Like, I had a few tracks come up on my MP3 player. I was like, what? This could be Christ. What? So I don't know when they changed.
I was kind of always knew they were going to go in that sort of direction. They were like supporting metal bands at one point. I'm sure, like.
I know they opened for Rammstein a few years ago.
Yeah, Rammstein. So you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
That sort of direction they're going to go.
I'll tell you who I was surprised has come back with a pretty damn good album. Mortis.
Really?
Yeah, he's come back. He's got a new album. I think it's called Doppelganger, or that's one of the songs on it even. Can't remember the album name, but it's actually pretty good. Why it took him so long to come out with another album that's like early 9 Inch Nails, like the previous two albums were, I don't know. But there we go.
That's an interesting one. I'll have to give that a listen. I've not really listened to Mortis since...
He doesn't wear the mask anymore.
Yeah.
Probably a wise decision.
I saw Mortis years ago where they were funny enough, he was say that again, supporting. Am I right in thinking he was supporting Dimmu Borgir?
That's an interesting lineup.
Was he? No, I forgot. No! Oh my god, I'm going to say a band that is like, where have they gone? Death Stars. He was supporting Death Stars.
Funnily enough, I was wondering that the other day, what happened to Death Stars.
Yeah, I mean...
Because they were on top of the world on the second album. Third album come out, everyone ignored it.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad an album. And then, nothing.
I used to absolutely love that. The first and second album.
Thing is, I've heard nothing about them actually splitting up either.
Yeah, they kind of just completely disappeared, didn't they?
Yeah, so, first and second album, I mean, I got in them... I'm sounding elitist now, but I got in them back on Synthetic Generation.
Yeah,
which
me
was
too.
When I had about 150 quid and I went to Camden in London to their record store that's under another shop. I just bought a load of random EBM and all that because it was like kid in a candy store. Oh, I've not heard that band, I have money. Just take my money, looking like Fry at the time from Futurama, and walked home with about 50, not 50, I wish it was 50 CDs, about 15 CDs of EBM and all that, and that happened to be one of them. And I was like, oh my god, why have I not heard this band? So, and then obviously Cyanide come out and they started getting played everywhere.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately never got to see them live, and I'm gutted. I am gutted.
I am actually looking on, their website doesn't exist anymore, which is interesting.
Really?
I'm actually looking it up.
I swear they're supposed to be working on a new album or something.
Yeah,
let's have a look at the Wikipedia, see if there's anything on there. No, it's still 2000 to present.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking on Wikipedia.
But by the looks of it, they did have a fourth album. Oh yeah, they did have a fourth album. I bought it 3 years ago.
You forgot. You got that many albums.
It was actually a pretty good album as well, The Perfect Cult. I said cult.
Yeah, I really was into the first two albums. Heard the third one, it was like, I kind of started...
Oh, they've not been gone for as long as we thought, actually. They've apparently done a tour through Europe at the end of 2014.
Did they? 2014, yeah. That was like...
That was about 3 years ago, but they've not split up. Maybe they're working on a fifth album.
Maybe.
Because The Perfect Cult, from what I remember it being really, really goddamn good. So, yeah, I've clearly... you are right, I get sent so many albums, have so many to get through that I've bought myself, that keeping track of these things is slightly insane. So, there we go. Oh.
I'm saying that you can actually probably build your own house with the amount of albums, your own actual physical albums as well.
How do you know I haven't tried?
That would not surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either, that's the thing. I might try that. Instead of a pillow fort, a CD fort.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear. Actually, you know what? this whole Metallica Lady Gaga thing, enjoy this, people, because you won't hear me talking about Metallica this much ever again. You know what it could be? Because I've just noticed Metallica are about to announce some tour dates.
Yeah, it was with Avenged Sevenfold and stuff, apparently.
Yeah, but what's the betting that one of the bands or something happens in the future where they may be a weird, like, strange crossing of metal and... Would you call Gaga pop anymore?
See now, if you've listened, anybody happens to listen to her newest album.
Which one? Because the last album I knew she released was the one that she did with some old crooner bloke.
Oh, Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
No, she released a new album about 2, 3, 4 months ago. Joanne, it's called.
Right.
It's got a real kind of country-esque vibe, believe it or not.
Considering Metallica have done country songs, that could work.
I could see it working. I think if anybody who does like Lady Gaga, you come to realise she's very diverse. Unlike some of the songs she's got on the albums, she's like.
Well, I know she's been invited a few times to DJ at metal clubs or something like that. So I've heard, or she used to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, she is. I mean, as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure she is quite a big metal fan. I mean.
See, I'm someone who doesn't mind a metal gig with maybe a big pop band or something supporting, because it gives you a bit of a different audience and all that for the different bands to get to. Because you might have heard the band, like the pop band, and think they're crap, and then see them live and go, oh, actually, you know what? They're pretty good. So I'm not going to deny there are good pop bands.
The problem is, this is no offence to metalheads.
Oh no, there is a lot, like, it's a bit overblown by the general media. I think I know what you're going to say here, but there's a lot of very, very, why is this band supporting, they're not metal?
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's very kind of elitist almost. A lot of them are elitist. And I know a lot of elitists, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes, I know.
But a lot of people, it's like metal or nothing. You know, even anything that's verging into industrial metal, or, you know, anything that's rock/metal, whatever you want to call it. It's
I've never been,
can't listen to it.
I've never been that bad, but I did through my teenage years and up until, well, probably started until about 25. I was very much, if it's not at least in some way heavy, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
My one vice then was Radiohead, and that's it. So, whereas now I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a listen. I mean, hands up, I actually own some Lady Gaga songs. Albums, even.
Yeah.
What have you done to me?
See, this is the problem. I get bored with one genre. I love metal, but I can't listen. I can listen to metal all day, don't get me wrong, but...
You need a break from it every now and again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Up, you know.
That's probably why I've started listening to EBM as well. Or was like, because I needed something a bit different, because at the time we were going through, when I got into EBM, it was the great emo massacre of decent music. And I couldn't stand emo music at the time, so I looked for something else, and I got introduced to industrial and EBM. I found myself liking that, which led to me getting into other stuff, both weird and wonderful. So there we go.
It, you get, so like, I find like the last couple of months has been like a lull, and decent things coming out, decent albums. You know,
there's been decent albums coming out, but nothing by brand new bands.
Yeah, so you want to kind of listen to something, another genre, you know, and I don't care, I'll listen to anything, but some people are very adamant on it's metal or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, how can I put this? I can't remember if you actually like them anymore, but you introduced me to them, and before they blew up. One of the best metal bands, and this is going to annoy a lot of people when I say this, like the more hardcore metalheads, but one of the best things to happen to metal in the last few years, for me, is baby metal.
Oh, what the hell? I did not introduce you to them.
You did. You showed me the Megitsune video.
I think probably you did, and I thought, what the hell is this? No,
Yeah, you did.
Seriously?
That was, you said, I have no idea what this is. I can't remember why. Because I think I showed you some random band. Might have been Psycho Stick, actually. And
Oh yeah. Oh,
you found Megitsune, and I loved it. And then
yeah.
they blew up. And like I said, because they are in a genre of one, essentially, and because I miss Mad Capsule Markets, I think baby metal were the best thing to happen to metal in a while.
See, I can't get into them. I can see why people like them, but you know that one tune. What was that one? Give me chocolate. Oh my god, it does me head in now. I'm fed up with hearing it.
That's because it was everywhere, and
Yeah.
I bought their Live at Wembley album that came out late last year. I think even the band are sick of it because they literally play through that song at triple speed on that live album.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like, Jesus Christ, you got sick of this fast. So,
I
yeah.
never really baby metal. Never get into them, and it's just one of those bands. Everyone's different, you know. I'm not going to say you're crap for not liking them, you know, and whatever.
Oh, the Metallica effect that I have on people. Now, this slides neatly into the next thing I was going to bring up. What are some of the bands that everyone seems to love, but you can't stand? And the reason I bring this up is because I don't know if you heard about this, but a few months ago, Floor Jansen of Nightwish, the current singer of Nightwish, hopefully she lasts, come out quite publicly stating, I can't stand Slayer, they bore me. And you can imagine the backlash.
This is the problem. Always, each to their own, innit?
Yeah, basically, that was my view. It's like, fair enough.
Yeah.
In the end, Slayer fans it's going to be a very, like the hardcore Slayer fans, a very minute minority of them are going to listen to Nightwish as well. So I don't see why it should affect them, but that's why I'm asking, what are bands that everyone's like, oh, I love them, and you're like, no. Mine obvious one.
We know what yours is.
Yeah, my first one's very obvious. I'm trying to think of some others now. I've got others.
I know.
Go on, you go ahead, go for it.
Hatebreed.
No, I fully agree.
Yeah.
Or, I'm going to annoy a lot of hardcore fans here, but for me, Hatebreed are what happens when Slayer write a song with no talent.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Hatebreed, now this is no offence to anybody who likes them, but...
Except talking Hatebreed fans, damn you.
I go to enough festivals to realise when they're on...
Run?
I'm trying not to swear now.
When they're on, grab a beer?
It's one of those days where I tend to generally avoid that when that band are on around about that time, because it really brings the idiots out. And again, this is no offence to people who like them, you know, again...
No, but every band, like especially metal bands, gets its idiot fans. I mean...
Yeah.
I've had it enough Fear Factory gigs. There's been absolute idiots that you just want to knock out.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be a bit more prevalent in death metal, actually, funny enough, and hardcore.
Yeah.
And I'm very peculiar on my hardcore. There's only a few bands I like of hardcore metal, and Hatebreed is not one of them.
It's one of those, call it genre, whatever you want to call it. It's one of those, I've never got into anything hardcore, never really have.
I started with Willhaven. I really got into them. Really like Willhaven, but that's because they're tagged as hardcore, but I'm not entirely sure that they are. They're a weird one.
Yeah, see, I've only really ever listened to the bits and bobs you really played on your radio shows, and I don't mind them, they're alright, but...
I mean, Biohazard are another, like, classic hardcore band, and I don't hate them, but I've listened to one or two full albums, they didn't do much for me, but then again, there's, like, the one or two songs that I'm like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. So, Sick of It All, I actually really like, but again, they're very much in the classic idea of hardcore with a big punk influence in there, which comes through. So, but apart from that, I couldn't really name you any other hardcore bands unless you want to count My Ruin. but they're not hardcore anymore.
Would you really count them as hardcore? Because they've gone through everything.
The earlier albums, yeah. Their best album, I'll not release through release, Violent Under Pressure of Violent Anguish or something. The Prayer Under Pressure of Violent Anguish. That was definitely a hardcore album. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I will totally put most of that down to it being Terry B, because she seems to be an eminently likeable and charismatic vocalist, as it were.
She's very diverse as well, isn't she? Didn't she do was it like an R&B or something album when she started off as being...
No, she started off as a hip-hop.
Hip-hop, that's it.
She released a new hip-hop album last year.
Yeah. Oh.
I've not listened to it. I've spoken to her a few times on Facebook. She was very nice. And they actually played down the road from me, My Ruin. Yeah. Because a lot of people just don't know decent metal anymore and just aren't buying the records.
You don't know who My Ruin is? It's like one of those bands of like the 2000s. Everyone knew them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Bands of the 2000s. You think since then we've had the emo explosion, the deathcore explosion, screamo, and there's been a lot that's gone on since My Ruin. And My Ruin do not sound like they used to. They're now more... How can I put it? Have you actually heard new of My Ruin?
Really haven't. I'm really bad at this show because it sounds like I don't know music because it's like I've not heard anything new.
No, I mean, that's fair enough. They've not exactly been advertised or anything, but New of My Ruin is Terry B's hardcore vocals over southern rock.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm still not 100% sure if I'm a big fan of it because I loved their earlier stuff that much, but I also have a thing for Terry B. But apart from that, she's a very short woman as well. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Because they played down the road from me, and I went and saw them. And this really short woman, she could have only been about 5 foot tall, walked past me. I had to do a double take. I went, "Oh, it's Terry B." So I thought she was this really tall woman who would shout at me for about 40 minutes, and that's before she got on stage. But they've gone in an interesting direction. I think that's the problem, because they've doing something different. Loads of people aren't bothering to give it a go.
Yeah.
So, but it's like I'm surprised it worked for Darkthrone when they went from being death metal to black metal. That could have gone very wrong.
Yeah. It's like a band like Darkthrone, for example. They have quite a big following anyway.
Yeah.
Like more obviously European kind of followers, and you always, if it's a band like that that's been going for years, decades, a really big band, that you're gonna people are gonna kind of stay loyal to them. I suppose it's true of probably My Ruin, but
I don't know. They seem to have lost a lot of fans, because I remember them selling out stuff like I think they sold out Brixton Academy once, and then they were selling out Electric Ballroom and the Astoria when it existed quite regularly. Now they're playing Chinnery's in Southend, which is quarter of the size.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird, and their record label at the time, their big record label, dropped them because their third album didn't sell millions, and it's like, you did listen to the band, didn't you? you know nothing that extreme's going to get that popular. Even Slipknot, as extreme as they sound, have the sung choruses. So
yeah.
They compromise. Talking of Darkthrone, however, they seem to be heading back towards black metal.
Yeah. Again, I've caught a few tunes of them lately, and
I've got the newest album, and they are heading back towards Transylvanian Hunger era, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, what I did hear, I was pretty impressed actually. Again, it's another album on the to listen list.
Well, along with the new Equilibrium album.
Oh yeah, I give that a listen. You know what? The new Equilibrium album.
I've not listened to it. I've had it since the day it came out, and I've still not listened to it. That's how bad my backlog is at the moment.
I preferred the older singer.
Really?
Yeah, because obviously it's got the newest singer.
I've only heard the newest singer.
Yeah, they have an old singer. We interviewed them a few years ago, didn't we, together? And
yes, that was about when Nuclear Blast liked me.
Yeah.
A story I will go into in a moment for people.
Brilliant gig, but yeah, and don't get me wrong, the new singer is a good, he's a good
Who are
bloke.
they supported by?
You saw them live, but yeah, I prefer the older singer. The album's alright, but it's really not as folky. I don't think it was as folky as the other one.
Maybe they're trying to sort of stray away from that bit because it's getting a bit oversaturated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
although, I have good news for you, my young lady. I do believe Arcona have a new album this year.
Yes, they do. I have heard it, and it's a good album.
Oh, is it already out?
Yeah, I'm sure it's already out.
I didn't think it would come out yet. Damn.
I'm pretty sure. In fact, I still get albums. I'm a bit naughty. I still get albums off the record label before they were released.
Well, that's alright. What, is it Metal Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I still get them.
Got that? How have I not got that? What? Hang on, I'm going to have to check this now, because I have a feeling I've got it, and forgotten I've got it.
Please. What was the other one? Anyway, straying off subject. Yeah, I do have the album. It's a good album.
Ah, see, if you got sent it, then surely I must have been sent it.
Now, I got other contacts. Wahaha.
Yes, you must have. No, the last album I've got is the one I bought, which is Goey Rody Goey. Or Goy, or whatever, how you pronounce it. I can't speak Russian, so...
But yeah, it's good. It's good. Pretty sure it's out.
Don't know. I thought I got it in the inbox the other day that it was coming out, but I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a good album.
Yeah. I've still got to listen to Goey Rody Goey all the way through.
You've not listened to it?
No. I'm terrible. Like the last year or so, I've been so busy trying to sort a load of stuff out. Yeah. And obviously the moving flat as well at the beginning of the year, last year, didn't help. So, yes. But, other bands that people love that you can't stand. Go
on. What bands that people love that I don't... I think... This is the thing with me. I like the odd songs, so, I'll give anything a go.
Yeah.
But, it's really hard to say is there a band I hate, or I can't really say there's a band I hate.
Okay, not hype, but you wouldn't choose to buy one of their albums, let's say.
Hundreds, thousands of bands.
Well, what I mean by that is, you wouldn't choose to buy one of their albums, but everyone else keeps raving about how good this band is. You've listened to it, and you're like, no.
It's like, Stone Sour, things like that. People love it. Machine Head are another, and I can appreciate that, fantastic. I can appreciate it's a good album, it's good music, but it's just not my taste.
You've never been much of a thrash person, have you?
No, I've never liked thrash.
Which is a shame, because I'll be honest, the new, although I know you like their last album, New Testament album's pretty good.
Yeah, see, Testament are one of those bands. I don't mind them. Yeah, I do like them, but if there's one, I said this just like hardcore, but there's another genre I don't really go into. It's thrash. Never have done.
I'm not a hardcore thrash fan.
The big names, do listen to them here and there. It's even like the Big Four. I never really listened to the Big Four.
I listen to Megadeth. I listen to Anthrax. Slayer, thank you. I couldn't think of the Big Four then because I was trying to ignore one. Obviously, I don't listen to them. I will quantify this because I know the comment section at some point, if people actually listen to this, will probably be people going, "Oh, how can you say you don't like them because if you've never listened to their albums?" I have listened to every album of Metallica apart from the new one. I own the albums for DJing at clubs purposes. I have given the albums several goes. I still think they're overrated, and they're just not for me. Simple as that. I don't know Lulu. I'll say that, but I don't think anyone would ever request that of me. So
again, it's personal taste, isn't it? And this is what people fail to realise, that everybody has a personal taste.
My Essexness has just come off from you because you just said "in it."
Did I?
Yes. Oh dear. Right, let's get off music for a moment. It's got to go over an hour, but we're having fun here. I'll have to split this up into 2 parts or anything. Or something. Right, what are the current TV shows you are watching? Are you still watching American Horror Story?
I watched the last season.
Is that because Gaga was in it?
Pardon?
Is that because Gaga was in it, or was that the season before?
No, she's been in 2 seasons now.
I should probably be a regular now then.
Well, yeah, the last season.
Oh, it was Freak Show, wasn't it?
No, the last season was the Roanoke Nightmare.
Right.
It could have gone so well. It could have been so good, but they really just mocked it up at the last episode. Because it was all like, what's that type of recording? You know, when there's like Paranormal Activity, kind of, just running around with their own cameras and
Found
stuff.
footage.
Yeah, that's it. Can't think of the right word. It was all found footage, and it was made into like a documentary-esque.
That sounds awful. I'll be honest.
The thing is, it could have been so good how they did it, but they made it so ridiculous at the end. It was boring. I watched it to think, come on, it's going to be good. Then you think, but the ending is going to have a really good twist, and it was just like, oh, okay.
See, I felt like that about, I think I've got the right film here, a film called The Knowing a few years ago, fair few years ago now, where it was really, really good build-up, and at the end it was just like, yeah, aliens.
Yeah.
And you were just like, what? No, be more interesting. I couldn't believe it. It's like such a good build-up, it's just like, yeah, aliens. What happened? Did the drugs wear off? Yeah. So, yeah, TV shows, still watching me Game of Thrones.
Gotta love I love Game of Thrones.
I've heard rumours apparently the next season's got to be the last.
No, they've got another 2 seasons, but they've got 2 more seasons, but they're only having 8 episodes a season.
I've got to say, they've got to conclude it soon, otherwise it's going to start dragging on a bit too much, I feel, personally. And
there's only so much you can do now.
This is from someone who's a huge Game of Thrones fan, and in the end, they can't keep coming up with excuses for Daenerys to not get to the same place as everyone else.
I'm just dying for the next book, because I love the books.
Well, I think he said the next book's the last one.
No, he's got another 2.
Oh, right, fair.
Or 3? 2, 3?
I know he said if he dies, he's already given instructions to his son or something, hasn't he? On how to end it.
Directors on the show.
Yeah.
How it's going to end, yeah. Oh no, love Game of Thrones. Can't wait for it to come out. It's just really annoying that they pushed it back. It's not going to be released until summer.
I've got a funny feeling that how Game of Thrones is going to end is everyone you like die, every main character dies, and it'll be some really, really obscure background character in the very first episode claims the Iron Throne.
See, I'm not making any predictions because how much it kind of takes a rug from your feet. It's really.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Tyrion's lasted this long.
See, now I've heard rumours. All these rumours that are going around, I'm not. It's like there's loads of videos up on YouTube, loads of news about all these leaks and everything. I'm not looking. I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
I've already heard a few things that people just out there to spoil it. I don't want to know. I want to watch it and be shocked or surprised or whatever myself. I don't want to know the spoilers. I'm waiting for it.
Well, you already have the spoilers because you already have the book.
Yeah, well, I knew that, but read the books, and I read the books when, because I only got into Game of Thrones about 4 years ago, so it was when it was like end of season 2, season 3, just after the Red Wedding, whatever was that season 3?
I know when you got into Game of Thrones because again I had to show you episode 1.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, and then I was absolutely stuck to the screen watching that.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, I'm reading the books, and I read the books so quickly. And yeah, it's like I knew things were coming when I'd read the books that had already happened in the series. But now it's completely, it's anyone's game. It's because obviously the book's not out. There's still some stuff that needs to be done from the book that's going into the series. I think they've pretty much done everything now.
I gotta say, I'm not sure if they'll do it now or just maybe skip over them because they're not as major.
See, this is it. It's like in the books, obviously, a lot more detail, a lot more characters, which I'm really good about.
But with a book, you're not having to work with a studio budget.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it?
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next season, and then, well, I think the book now is being pushed back again until the end of the year, so it'll be the season I'll see before reading the book. Other than that, TV show wise, I'm really sad. I love Call the Midwife. It's really sad.
Good God. But, do you want to explain what this is? Because I don't know. I'm guessing it's an English program, isn't it? I say this because you might need to explain it to any American listeners.
Call the Midwife is a BBC program based in, at the moment, they're about 1950s. And it's all about midwifery and the kind of, a series about various things. And people are like, oh, because you've seen babies be born. But it's such a lovely story and everything. And yeah, I'm really sad because new seasons come out. I'm really happy. I'm watching it at the moment. I love that.
So she goes from hardcore decapitations, nudists and everything in Game of Thrones to Call the Midwife. yeah. That's me summed up perfectly. Oh dear. I'm still catching up on Vikings because I keep forgetting to catch up on it. I've got to catch up on Black Sails.
Vikings.
And Gotham. I've seen all of season 1 of Gotham. I've got to watch the other seasons. But really, TV show. I find myself mainly watching things on YouTube. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of Let's Plays actually, generally of the Dark Souls games recently, because I suck at them and I don't think I will ever see the ending of most of them. So yeah, I've been watching them along with. Do you know Yahtzee? Does 0 punctuation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching his old Let's Drown Outs that he used to do. That he's finished now because he's moved to America. So.
Oh, you know what I was watching the other day?
The Resident Evil review.
I was really bored, and I thought, oh, what should I do? Very rare that I'm bored. I went on YouTube and I watched one of the. I think it was the very first episode of Unskippable on the Escapist.
Is that's Dead Rising, wasn't it?
No, it was that Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eternal Sonata or something.
Yeah, the game which still has possibly the longest goddamn intro ever that you can't skip. And I know this because I own the game. And good God, it doesn't end.
But no, I remember seeing that years ago when it first started.
Again, that might have been something I turned on. I can't remember if that was though. But yeah,
I'm sure it was you who showed me that.
There was one or two lines in that I remember us sitting there absolutely wetting ourselves at.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of them apart from this shot marketed to vampires when it's showing her neck.
No talking, mummy's drunk.
That's it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
The only other thing that keeps coming to mind is I think it's the Resident Evil 5 one they done. It shows him driving up the road, and just one of them starts going, Xenia!
Yes! But as you said that, something come back to me. I don't think it was on The Escapist. It was on something completely different, and it was a run-through of, I can't remember which Resident Evil it was, but it was a Barbie girl, and it's got, I'm a Barbie girl going in the background, and all the zombies and whatever are going, Aqua!
This is what happens when you spend too long clicking around YouTube because you're bored.
Yeah. But
it's like the... Who was it? Was
my
it Bill
God.
Bailey? I can't remember if it was Bill Bailey or someone. Yeah, I think it was Bill Bailey. Where like you'll start clicking around YouTube, you'll look what's the thing, and then you'll suddenly see how to do this, and by the end of the day, you can make balloon animals out of condoms and stuff, and you're just like, hang on, I only come on here to find out how to crack an egg. So
The best one I did was, this was years ago, but I always remember it. I was really bored clicking around on YouTube, and 2 hours later, it was how to talk to your Down syndrome cat.
these are dark corners of YouTube you have been broaching.
I know.
I mean,
Oh, that was brilliant. But yeah, it was, what? You just do. It's one of those things when you're a bit bored, or what I do, if I'm working, if I'm painting.
if you now say you taunt Down syndrome cats, I'm going to end this podcast straight away.
Oh, when I'm working, I'm doing painting, and I'm getting a bit bored of listening to stuff, I'll just put stuff on YouTube, and it will just go from one thing, and then it will just, autoplay, keep playing something, and you'll end up with something really, what the hell is this, really mental stuff.
And then you look up and go, hang on, I recognise that voice, it's me! Oh, God, yes. Even though I am obviously YouTube creator, I mean, I'm quite close to posting my 200th video soon. Jesus.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
mental. I mean, my YouTube channel's been going for about 5 years, on and off.
Yeah.
Because it was off for about 3 years, and then I got back into it. But yeah, and it's fascinating watching back through my old videos. It's like, track the baldness. So, okay, sorry.
Going back to something you said earlier.
Oh no, was it hello?
How far are you with Vikings?
I literally have only watched season 1.
Really?
Yeah, I suck. They're on season 4 or 5, aren't they?
Oh, is this season 4 or 5? Either way, I'm on the latest season. I've still not watched them all. I won't ruin anything, honest, but I've just watched that part. It's just like, oh.
See, it was weird seeing him in World of Warcraft movie.
I've not seen that yet.
Sorry, the Warcraft movie. He's like one of the main characters, but the problem is,
Yeah.
because he's so softly spoken,
Yeah.
I couldn't understand half of what he was saying,
Oh, bless him.
because I haven't turned him up.
Yeah.
And it's like, he suits the character, but at the same time, he's just like, yeah, now we must do this. And you're like, what? Sorry? So, yeah.
That's one game that I'll never play because I'm scared to play it.
I've never played it, I never intend to, because probably lose my life to it.
Yeah. See, this is the problem with me. I know something like that. There's been times where I've really wanted to play it, thinking it looks really interesting, but I will literally lose my entire life to it.
See, well, as we're on to gaming now, obviously last year I bought an Xbox One. Also got PS4 now as well, because I like to cover all my bases.
You've got a PS4?
I've got both, yeah.
Really? You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bear in mind that the only Xbox I ever had before the Xbox One was the Xbox 360. I'm not like a hardcore Microsoft fan. You'd have to be mental to be a hardcore Microsoft fan, to be honest with you. But with the crap Nintendo about to pull, maybe it'd be better for you. And if you haven't heard, people listening and yourself, Nintendo Switch, their new console. The problem people are having with it, and it's a fully understandable problem, this is why, just adding to my hatred of Nintendo, is that basically you now don't buy games off their download service. Oh no, you pay like £4 or £5 to put a game on your hard drive for a month, and then it gets deleted and you have to pay £5 again.
Really?
Yeah. That is ridiculous. I know they're retro games, but still, one, you're making people pay £5 for them, or whatever it is. It should be £1 at most. And two, then deleting it, especially if they had save data. Say like someone downloaded an old school Zelda game and didn't have the time to complete it in a month. What the hell?
It's like, if you have games, it's like, you know, I play games. I've only got Xbox 360 at the moment.
Yeah.
But, like, there's some games that I literally play it, and then somebody will nick the game and borrow it for 3 years, whatever.
This is not me she's talking about, by the way.
Or, you know, you put down a game and think, oh, I'll play something new, and then come back to it, and, you know, if it was like Nintendo, it'd be like, oh, I'm right at it. Like, the most annoying thing that can ever happen. This happened to me about a year ago, and...
Is this going to be Viva Pinata?
hey, I'm 100% of that, man. No, I haven't. Yes, I have.
Yeah, you did, because I remember you messaged me on Facebook about it.
Yeah.
Literally 3 years after you started playing it, I just got a random message from you saying, I've 100%ed Viva Pinata.
Yeah. But,
because you managed to get the glitched achievement.
Yes.
So, yes.
Next hour to play. But, straight off the topic, slightly, I was playing Lego Hobbit. That's it. And I was literally probably 3/4 of the way through getting the final achievement to 100% it. Xbox went poof and decided to delete the data.
Oh.
Now, you can imagine my frustration with that.
If, as everyone who has ever played a Lego game to get 100% completion on it knows, yeah. Because I've got to do it all again, because I had to restart a new profile for the Xbox One. Because for some reason it wouldn't let me download my old profile for whatever. So I'm having to go through all the Legos again, as they slowly get drip-fed to me on backwards compatibility. But, yeah, like some of them...
You have to subscribe, or whatever it is with Nintendo. Imagine getting like, I was literally maybe an hour or two off completely completing it. And
what was it, just the collectibles you had to get?
It was like, I think I was literally on, you know, when you have to smash everything and get so many, what was it?
Studs in it.
Studs, that's it. I was thinking rings, I was thinking Sonic then for some reason. But yeah, getting all the studs, I was literally...
You might be the only person who's thinking of Sonic anymore these days.
But I was literally like, I'd say like an hour off actually getting all the studs and then 100% in it. And then, yeah, can you imagine Nintendo would turn around and say, nah, we've got to delete it because you haven't paid to keep the data on there. Yeah. Having that every month, you know...
It's where Nintendo just don't have a clue anymore, or are proving now that they don't have a clue on how to market themselves to their audience anymore, and or how to work with third-party developers. They've always been terrible at that, and they've even admitted it. And even though they won't admit it, if you live outside of Japan, you're seen as essentially a third-class citizen to them, because you. Obviously, us countries don't spend as much on gaming as Japan does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bit stupid, and then they suddenly come out with this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it could be hailing the death of Nintendo, if they go ahead with it still. It's been a long time coming in my personal estimation, because I feel they've been dying, since the Wii failed at first and then got picked up, but it was never really a gaming platform. So
see, the Wii was like entertaining for like 2 minutes, and then it was like, oh, it's just, you know.
Well, the best thing I've ever heard was actually from one of those Let's Drown Outs, and it was Yahtzee's mate Gabriel, and he said the best way Nintendo should have marketed the Wii is just put the picture of the Wii and just put the tagline, made for drunk. It's the only time anyone that ever plays it, or at Christmas.
Who actually plays it anymore? I don't know anybody.
I don't know anyone who bought... I don't know anyone who bought a Wii U. I know that. And that lasted 2 years and it's dead already.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. Even I thought that would last longer.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking the other day? Which,
I dread to think, because yours is a weird and strange mind, as our listeners will hear.
Game-wise, what I used to really enjoy, I didn't play it as much as some people. People really hardcore on it, but you know, like Guitar Hero and what was the other one they did?
Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band. I was thinking, like, you know, when you hear a certain song, like what was I listening to the other day?
Funnily enough, it could have been Fleetwood Mac, because I think one of their songs is on one of them.
No, it was Raining Blood, Slayer, and all I see is the tabs going up.
Christ, how many times did you play it?
But you know, do you ever kind of get one of those songs you listen to and you think, oh my god, all I can see now is Guitar Hero and the tabs going up?
Yeah, for me it was it was a garbage. Oh, Garbage. I think I'm Paranoid.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Yeah.
Which is really confusing, because if I now try to learn to play that on bass, I'm just going to be trying to look for the red and blue buttons. So yes.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's like one of the Black Sabbath. Yeah.
Paranoid.
One of those.
It would probably be Paranoid or Iron Man.
I think it was Iron Man, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was, and all I can see is the tabs going in front of. You know, it's really funny, isn't it? But yeah, I was thinking how it was kind of like it was before the whole Wii incident.
That sounds like such a dodgy sentence.
But yeah, you were. It was all before like Wii came out, pretty much. Well, yeah,
that's not a better sentence.
No.
Why, in the name of God, did you name a console the Wii?
I know. You know, just any other name, man. But yeah, it was fun to like do Guitar Hero, and then it was like, oh, let's bring out the Wii and smash things up as you're trying to,
Well, I do know why they call it the Wii. It's because they were hoping that people would associate it with Wii Play. That was literally the marketing idea. But then they spelt it WII.
It didn't really work out too well, did it?
No. Also, Wii Play still sounds quite suspect.
Yeah, it is something you kind of come across on a dodgy site.
However, going back to music, because I've got some news here. For those of you into your gent genre, as it were, one of the purveyors, one of the people who helped invent the entire genre, Britain's very own Sixth, have released a new single which you can listen to on metalstorm.net. It's called No Wishbones, and it is their first single from their upcoming new album, which is out on the 26th of May. I am a huge Sixth fan. I have no idea whether Skrinkles knows who I'm on about.
No, I kind of.
Sikth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've come back. I had a new EP last year, and now they're doing a new album because they come back, sort of reformed. And yes, more riffs to screw with your head. So yeah, but you brought up tangentially, as it were, Black Sabbath there. Now, obviously, recently Black Sabbath are ending.
Yeah.
Actually ending. Also, Aerosmith download their last ever UK gigs.
Yeah.
So it's coming to that time where all these bands, all the old guard, are starting to sort of retire and everything. Although I think Iron Maiden will probably have another 2 or 3 albums, and I think Judas Priest are working on a new album, I do believe. But once they're gone, who do we think are going to be the next, how could I put it, the next gods of metal, as it were?
That's really hard to say, because if you think with metal, like you think Black Sabbath, one of the original bands,
See, now I've got what might be seen as a bit of a controversial statement, but I believe Avenged Sevenfold.
They're quite big anyway, aren't they?
That's what I mean. I think, bearing in mind, only 10 short years ago, they were playing small clubs, and he was screaming his lungs out on every song.
Yeah.
So they've done really well. I think I'm really hoping that I'm not right about this, but I've got a bad feeling Linkin Park might be.
Well, you think like, they always say there should be, they say the big four, there should be the big five because people consider like Testament.
See, I would say Testament should be in there as opposed to other bands.
Yeah, but it's like Testament or...
Testament and Exodus are usually the two that are said should be part of that.
Yeah,
so, yeah, and I agree with that, but more Testament than Exodus, but that's because I've enjoyed more Testament songs than Exodus myself. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Avenged Sevenfold will be up there.
Like Machine Head and things like that, I suppose.
I'd be tempted to say Machine Head, but they're getting on now.
Yeah, but
they'll be. I suppose they're the elder statesmen of thrash along with Slayer now.
Are they as old as them?
No. Machine Head started 90.
I was going to say they're not that.
I think Machine Head started 94, 95.
Yeah.
I want to say that, I could be wrong, because I think it was around the same time. Yeah, they released Burn My Eyes, I believe, the same year that Demanufactured come out. So yeah, 95. You knew Fear Factory was going to come up at some point. But yeah. Also, with the way he does his vocals, I don't know how much longer Rob Flynn could keep his throat in pristine condition to do it.
Yeah, I suppose. It's been a hard one, really, because there's never really been any difference with who the big bands are,
I mean, the replacement for AC/DC is fairly obvious. It's the band that sounds exactly like them, Airborne.
Okay. Going back to an earlier subject when you're on about bands that everyone loves but you hate.
AC/DC.
Honestly, they do me head in.
I don't love them, but I don't hate them.
No, I can't do the voice. It does me head in. Really does me head in.
Yeah.
I've got an interesting one.
Yeah?
They are just like, they seem to be like, keep getting better and better. Amon Amarth. One of those bands that everyone seems to be really going into.
Again, the potential's there, but my only concern with that is, can you see him still be able to do those vocals when he's 70?
Oh, you think the same with not any band really. They're bound to change.
Well, Amon Amarth would have to, and I think there'd be a massive uproar if Johan Hegg suddenly started singing.
But you think with like comparing like Amon Amarth with I don't know, something a bit more growly, screamy, that big.
Well, I know no matter how big they get, none of the death metal bands could do it, because...
No.
I mean, Chris Barnes is like 50 now, and as you're listening to, like, 6 feet under than that, you can tell he can't pull the voice off as well as he could when he was in Cannibal Corpse. And that's not a slight against Chris, he's still an awesome vocalist, but you can tell it's damaged his throat over years. That and the pot smoking. But
that's just in there, isn't it, when it comes to death metal? It's never... They really do bug up their voices.
It's like, I'm not sure how long Danny Filth can keep going.
Yeah.
So, I mean... Although I do like Crown of Filth. I mean, they've got back in my good books because I actually really like their last album. So, took you long enough, Danny.
I've not listened to them in years. I can't remember the last time I actually listened to one song by them.
Probably Nymphetamine, because it was everywhere.
Yeah. Tell you one band that they've been around for years. You can vouch this, because I know you're a fan of them. And they kind of seem to be really popular at the moment. Skindred?
Skindred deserve every bit of success they can get, in my personal opinion.
They've been going years and years and years.
Yeah.
Only last year or two, they've gone really big.
Yeah, I mean, last year I got to actually interview Benji. Really cool bloke, really proper nice. We went on the tour bus to do the interview. Yeah. And as soon as we went in there, he said hello and just like straight away said, "Do you guys want a beer or anything? Just let us know and I'll make sure it happens." And like really accommodating, really a laugh to interview and all that. And possibly one of the best frontmen I've seen in the last 17 years live. Yeah. He's so good at working a crowd, and I can see them being. I'm surprised it's not happening yet. How have we got Biffy Clyro as a bleeding Download headliner and not Skindred?
You know what? I saw the Download lineup.
It's
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I was really surprised. Actually.
It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
I mean, Download to me is a bit. It's very hit and miss. It's like one of those festivals where I would go for a day.
Well, it started as a good metal festival, and then over the years they've started getting more and more commercial bands, and now, Biffy Clyro.
But it's like, I'm just looking on the Download lineup right now, and it's like, you know what? I saw this the other day, and I was like, are they still going? AFI.
Yeah, I've just released a new album.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought they went off the scene years ago.
They went off the scene. It didn't break up, just went off because they released an album called Crash Love that was apparently a complete change of sound, which I've not listened to, and a lot of people didn't like it. I got told this by Colin from an Irish band whose name has gone out of my head. I was going to say Purple Cupcakes, that's not their name. Oh God, what's their bleeding name? Hang on, Facebook to the Sugar Plum Suicide, there we go. Who are an awesome band. If you've not heard them, go check them out. But I was discussing AFI with him, and he told me about this album called Crash Love, and apparently they suddenly went all 80s synth for an album. Which is a bit weird when you've gone from goth punk.
Yeah. The last album I heard... No. What was the album called? They had...
Sing the Sorrow?
What's it, that one? Miss Murder. That's it.
December Underground.
That's it.
Yeah, that was an okay album.
Yeah.
Although I will give it to them, they did do a really good cover of Head Like a Hole on there. If you got the one with the bonus tracks.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, God, years ago now. That was like.
There's bands I've seen that I've because I'll speak about it with people who are like on. I think it's either Download or Bloodstock. I have to get both lineups now.
I turn to face it all. Sun will burn my